Hey, everybody, listen, welcome into the building. I'm glad to see everybody out there. It's time to chat, people, and it's time to chat about Love and Marriage Huntsville, okay? So, the episode, we're going to get into it. But before we get into it, I got to give you some updates. Tomorrow night, in the building will be the Duncans from Love and Marriage DC. Okay, so don't forget, stop by, hit the like button. The Duncans are coming through the chat with us tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They will be in the building, and we're going to get to ask them questions and hear from them. So, Keisha, we're going to get into it. The whole salon scene got on my nerves. I'm trying to bring it up old news. I'm trying to tell you, but that's what these ladies do, right? They dig up old dirt and recycle it, and it becomes a whole hot mess. Julius, thank you for the choo-choo. Amanetta, thank you for the choo-choo, and I hope I said your name correctly. So listen, everybody, little update. I think I told you a while back that my dad, 84 years young, okay, was diagnosed with, I want to say, stomach cancer. They had to do a procedure. They took it out. He took it like a champ. He went for his last chemotherapy session today. Okay, that's where I was. That's why the train is pulling off late. But to God be the glory. Okay, when they did that CAT scan, they saw zero, no signs of cancer. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. That man is going to live forever. Okay. So 84 years old. God bless him. His birthday is in August the 7th of this year. And we're going to party down. Okay. He will be 85 years old. Yes. Thank you, Black Panthers. So God be the glory. And Black Panthers, thank you for your email. I did send it to Royer. He said thank you. And listen, his family had a ball in your state, okay? They partied down. They had what a ball. So listen, guys, we're about to board this train, okay? The train is pulling out late, but it's pulling out the building. Y'all know what y'all got to do. Y'all got to put in that chat of what? A choo-choo, so we can board this train and get ready to pull it out and talk Love and Marriage Huntsville. Because, oh my, let me tell you something. Marcel Scott is a piece of work. I met a lot of men in my life, but good gosh, that man, okay? He know how to gaslight a person, and he do it all smoothly with a smile. He don't even raise his voice. That's why you don't even know you being tricked, okay? You thinking you wrong because he know how to say the words out of his mouth. He a piece of work. He need to write a book. I'm telling you, he's something else. Thank you, Sheila, for the choo-choo. I'm about to board this train. All right, so listen, guys. Hold on now. Don't forget, don't be coming sneaking on the train. Because we know a lot of y'all like to sneak on the train. Don't sneak on the train. Hit that like button, okay? That's your ticket on this train ride. Hold on. Hey, Roy.
To God be the glory for the things that he has done. Great things. 84 years young and still surviving the storms of life. Praise
Still
God.
surviving the storms of life and took it like a champ and did very well. To God be the glory. Hey, Robin.
Ditto.
Oh, thank you.
Ditto. Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, E.
Happy Monday, everybody. Choo choo. We're here.
Yes, go ahead. Hey, Juice Radio.
Hey girl, hey, you have really made my night. I had such a slow day today, but when you mentioned your father, girl, I love a good praise shout time.
Woo! Yes. Okay. He
Girl.
did it. And he had to do chemo, and the week he wasn't doing chemo, he had to actually take an oral chemo medication. He did both. The man lives by himself. Listen, what more can I say? He lives by himself. He do his own thing. And when the doctor, matter of fact, said, "Are you gonna go home and stay with your daughters through this treatment?" He said, "Nope." He said, I ain't going. He said, "I got things to do." Okay. So he said, no, he was not that man doing his thing. Hey, Dadon.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on? Listen,
I'm always here for a good testimony. Got to remind the people.
Gotta remind the people who's in charge, okay? Who is
Listen.
up above. You know what? I'll say this real quick before we get into this episode and this recap. You know, my dad, because of course, when he first told me, you know, me and my sisters, you know, everybody was all nervous or whatever. And that man said, don't worry about me. When he said, don't worry about me, and the way he said it, and I felt it, I'm telling you, every time we went to the session, because they put us in this little infusion room and the TV was in there and we was just chilling. You know, it wasn't like, I don't know. I can't explain it. But all I could say is I didn't worry, and neither did my dad. And he said, no matter which way this thing goes, don't worry about me.
Amen.
Amen, right?
Amen.
Amen.
That's that mustard seed faith.
So yeah,
that's the mustard seed faith.
Oh God, ain't it though? Ain't it though? Yes, yes, yes. So amen, and to God be the glory. So all right, people, let's get into this. Okay, Love and Marriage Huntsville. You know, I'm gonna play this thing out to the end and see how it goes. But you know what? It's you know, it's not the same feel as it used to be. But hey, I'm gonna see how it pans itself out. And I'm not sure that the additions and the deletions that they took from the show is really going to make this thing work. That's just my opinion. I don't know. We shall see, right? You know, Stormy, I don't have nothing against her, but I don't know what she's really bringing to the show, her and her husband, okay? But don't have nothing against her. I'm just not seeing it so far. Maybe I'm going to see it soon. Kiki, I think Kiki should have stayed a friend of the show. And I will say this for Destiny, doesn't matter how I feel about her or don't feel about her. I think she should have been brought back also. But you know, those are my opinions. So let's get into this. We start off the first scene where it ended off last week, where it is Kiki and Tisa kind of talking things out. Now, it brought a new dimension to the conversation for me. So apparently, you know, part of the breakup or the breakdown between Tisa and Kiki's relationship was Kiki was still dibbing and dabbing when they had their breakdown. That's the way the conversation kind of went, right? And I think that Kiki is not ready yet to own her piece of the situation. And it's hard to reconcile or move past things when you have one party in the situation that is not quite ready to own up to their piece of it. You know, Roy, if I do you dirty, to come back and make up with you, part of the makeup got to be me acknowledging I did you dirty. Like I can't, you know, I can't just act like it did, like you delusional and it didn't exist. I gotta, you know, make amends, make atonement for my piece in the situation. So I felt like that whole conversation, Kiki still wasn't ready to own up to her piece. She was acting as if, like, I don't know why you're mad. I didn't really say nothing bad about you. No, when you came on, Kiki, we got to tell the truth and shame the devil. When you came on, you was coming to go after your cousin. Okay, because that was your ticket in the doorway. That was your ticket on the show. That's why they wanted you there, to disrupt your cousin and to talk about the things that are going on in her. Okay, that's what brought you there. And you got to own up to your piece of it. Stop acting like you're just not clear as to why you and your cousin were having issues and problems. Girl, don't do that. It was the nonchalant, you know, not acting that part for me. But they called it a truce. They agreed to never bring up this conversation again. And they hugged it out. So I'm hoping that the hug out will work, even though we had the debacle at the end of the show with the whole spa thing. But whatever, they tried it. That's all I can say with that. So, Juice, I know you got to go, so I'm gonna let you comment on this first really quickly. And I appreciate you and thanks for stopping by.
Listen, thank you for having me on the panel. I love coming over here. Listen, I was coming over here before the train got started. You know, it was in.
Yes, you were.
I love being over here, child. But listen, Kiki, I'm still watching Kiki with a side eye.
Yeah,
I'm still watching her with a side eye, and I got a little shield up because I don't know if she might come for some of us. But Kiki, you need to own what you did. You really were on that show because you and Letitia was having problems. And that's why you came over there to try and befriend Mel and just start some mess. And she just needs to own that. And I don't know why she's trying to cover it up and then trying to come for Kimmy when Kimmy trying to tell her, girl, you said that. So
Child.
why not just come on and tell the truth? You were trying to be shady. You were mad at her and y'all made up. Okay,
Right.
be with that. But Kiki, Kiki, I still don't know about you, girl. I still don't know. And I don't know if she should be a regular on the show either. I would have probably rather brought back Destiny than Kiki, but c'est la vie. So we'll have to see. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, Emmanuel, they did expose Kiki's. I don't know if I want to use the word expose Kiki addiction. We're gonna have to come to the middle of the road and say that we agree to disagree on that situation. I think that if I have a friend and it is my cousin, and you about to open your door to my cousin, I think I owe it to you if my cousin got a little past history to kind of give you a heads up to say, listen, I'm glad you're trying to open the door for my cousin, but just know XYZ. And that may be why our family members are not opening the door to her because they're not sure if they can, right? Yes, we giving the side eye. People
Yes, we
the
are.
side eye. Yes. The Dom Sweet Tea, thanks for being here. What are your thoughts on this first opening scene? With Kiki and Tisa having a talk and try to make it up.
Well, thank you for allowing me to come on your platform.
Mhm.
I just think what everyone was saying, they're right about the situation. But I want to say this first. I hope you realize how blessed you are that your
Mm,
father is there for you. I mean, I used to be a daddy's girl,
mhm,
and honey, oh my gosh, he is such a blessing, and you
mhm.
are so blessed. Okay,
Listen,
that's
can
all
we
I'm
can
going to
yes.
say.
No, the Don, thank you for that. Thank you for that, sweet tea. Let me tell you something. When I tell you I know, when I tell you I told my father he gotta live until he give me away, and he was like, girl, he said, well, I don't, he said, I don't know if I'm gonna last that long. He said, but I'm gonna try. Okay. But I
That's
joke
all he can do.
yeah, I joke with him all the time. But yes, you know what? And my mom is a breast cancer survivor. My mom is
Mm.
late 70s. Yeah, my mom is I don't want to quote it because my sister's gonna be like, girl, get it right. My mom, she might be 78 now. My mom is 78, but my mom lives about 15 minutes away from me. Her dog is bigger than her. That dog is probably 200 pounds. My mother is probably 100 pounds soaking wet. And so, and my mother lives alone too. So extremely blessed.
Mm.
I know it and I'm grateful and I'm thankful. And yeah, they still treat me, like baby girl to this day. Thank you, mommy and daddy. Okay. But yes, I
Mm.
appreciate that. Thank you. But go ahead. Did you want to say anything else?
No, just they're blessed to have a beautiful daughter like you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much
Okay.
appreciated. Yes. The Don, you're in the building. What are your thoughts on this opening scene? What do you think about Kiki?
You can't be for me and against me at the same time.
Oh,
Mm,
let me sit up.
mm.
I
Ooh.
and Kiki is the personification of that. Like she's for me in front of my face,
Oh wow.
but behind me you're against me. Like uh you can't I just don't understand that logic. Like you're my family, but
Mm,
you talk about me like a dog in front of
mm,
people you know I'm not getting along with. And
mm.
then you play dumb when I call you to the carpet. Like if Kiki would have owned that she did that, Tisha probably would have, put it under the rug for a
Right,
while. But the
right.
fact that she didn't even own it, she tried to throw it on everybody else. When you apologize, accept your stuff.
Yes.
And to me, she just didn't accept it. She was just trying to hug her. She was trying to make her move on. But
Yeah.
you sat there and dogged this lady the entire last season. And then when Tisha came up with them puppets, she was exactly right. She was a puppet. She was a puppet. She didn't have a brain of her own.
Well,
And and I think this season they're gonna make her stand on her own feet because I don't think she's getting along with anybody too much.
they are going to make us stand on our own feet because you know what? I think that the ladies just feel in general, and I'm talking about every reality TV show, it's like you got to earn your keep.
Right.
not gonna come up here and think you're gonna get this check and we exposing our life and you're not gonna expose nothing. No, they're gonna, it's like an initiation. You're gonna earn your key. So Kiki, it was all fun and games when she was just a friend of the show. But now that she on that commercial, that opening commercial, she gonna get the beat down. They gonna initiate her in, and we saw Tiffany doing it at the spa with the whole baby in her belly. Okay, yep. Tiffany being messy. Okay, about to give birth to God's creation there, and she was sitting up there being just as messy as they come. Okay,
I can't take Tiffany. Tiffany is I don't know.
Yeah, and it's so funny, Juice. I mean, when she came for the interview, I fell in love with her. But when I saw that, I said, well, good God, look at her with the baby in her belly and being just as messy as they come, okay? But they making her, you called it, Don, they're making her earn her key, and you are right, you got to pick a side. You cannot be for me and against me at the same time. We family. And let me tell you something about that Scott family. Well, they picked, that's like Letitia's her original last name. But her family, they got some strong genes. I don't look that much alike to my cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, every cousin in that darn family look alike. Like they all can have the same mom. Like it's crazy. Okay. E, what are your thoughts?
So hi everybody. This is my first time seeing the opening credits because I wasn't planning on watching this catastrophe. But one thing I will say is clear, and I didn't see the episode before this one, but Mel sure won't say nothing bad about Kiki, and Kiki won't say nothing bad about Mel. I know we're gonna talk about that later, but they cooked the books to get Destiny off the show. This was my first time seeing the opening credits, and I was looking for the budget. The way Carlos comes for Bravo day in and day out, I was looking for the
I said, come on.
I was looking for the extravagance of it all. It looked like they got a fan from their kitchen and drove to Walmart and took pictures. The best dressed, in my opinion, was Tisha and Mel. But Destiny was definitely robbed and deserved to be at that Walmart shoot too. They could have gave her a rat tail comb and she could have got that Gucci purse that she got last season. Destiny was definitely robbed, I want to say. Now about this scene though, Tisha talks like a cartoon character. I don't know if anybody else gets that impression, but it's like they gave her a script and she ends every line with an exclamation mark. I every time she spoke, I just kept hearing that. And I don't know if anyone else noticed that everything is stated as a question with Tisha, as if, it's just the inflection of her voice, even when it's a declarative or informative sentence. It sounds as though she's unsure of herself, even, or maybe she's acting and she just doesn't know how. I don't know. But her and Kiki's conversation was so contrived. I'm not willing to entertain this mess because all of this was drama just to get Kiki in the opening credits. And she doesn't deserve to be there. What I do believe is Kiki is being honest about her drug use. And I do believe that when she says that when I say her, I mean Tisha. I do believe she means when she says Tisha and Marcel made a bigger deal out of this than it truly was, whether that's about the drug use or whether that's about the cheating allegations. Because what I do believe is that Kiki, I believe Tisha she discussed that with Kiki about Marcel cheating. I believe that 1000%. 100 always means 100. And if Tisha is unwilling to come clean on camera, even if that is your cousin and you felt like she shouldn't have exposed it, have some sense of authenticity, because I'm just looking at two people playing in my face. And I'm not willing to play kissy faces and yoga with Harriet Winslow. Tisha, going on now. I did not like this thing.
Did she say Harriet Winslow?
She did. Okay. Robin, what are your thoughts?
Mouth open over Harriet Winslow. She said Harriet.
Oh God, I cannot.
Listen, we know that scene, especially with Kiki, was more than an introduction. It was an introductory audition. That's going to seal her space and place in her storyline for us. I don't care about him.
Yeah, she's being ushered into the building in the wrong way, and I don't think she has a strong enough personality to build her own storyline. And where's her husband? This girl has a husband. Now,
Right. And children.
Tisa did allude to, you don't want me to tell you the business about you and your husband. So
Right.
I'm wondering, did her and the husband break up? Because he's not in the opening scene credits with her.
Well, you
And
know what? I'm
and I
sorry.
thought about that. I was like, well, she's married too, and is loving Marriage Huntsville. Why isn't her husband part of this, opening thing? I thought,
How about focusing on the love that she and Tisha used to have? I think that her story, if they could get over and I say that not being flippant, but if
right.
they can find a way to get past the matter of her drug use, when I say past it, really deal with it and talk about it, I think that they have a good story, a good life story that they can share with us, Tisha and Kiki, because they grew up as sisters.
Mhm.
They went to college together. They were roommates
They did
together.
not.
They were
They
they
did
were
not. They did
they
not
were
go to
roommates.
college together.
They were
So
roommates when she was in college.
no, I
That's what they
didn't. I
said.
didn't get that. I got that
I
Letitia
saw her.
that
I saw an interview with her about with the first time we ever saw her. I saw an interview with Kiki, and she said that they lived together when Tisha was in college for sure. I don't know if I felt like
lived together. Yes, but I thought you said they was in college together
I thought that they
because
went to college, but I know they definitely lived together when they were in college. And she talked about their dynamic, and I think that that's the part of the story that would lend a different angle, both to her and to Tisha, and they can show people who generally at least one point liked each other and had a real relationship.
yeah, they got to get back their relationship. She said in an interview that she and her husband were having marital issues. That's sad that they're going through things right now, and maybe they're on the verge of breaking up. I hope not. But that's sad. But what Tisa had said herself was that Kiki, she even said it in this conversation I believe they was having. Maybe it was part of last week's conversation versus the past week. She said that, or she said to somebody else that what is her name? That Kiki told her about a scholarship, and that is how Letitia was able to go to college because Kiki told her about the scholarship. And Kiki said she did have a little bit of jealousy that almost that Tisa is living her life that
Oh,
she knows she kind of messed up as a result of getting into the drug abuse or whatever else the case may be. So I think that even though Kiki loves her cousin, I think that she has some jealousy because she's feeling like, she's living a life I could have had I not messed up my own life. Yeah. So she the one that told her about the scholarship, and that is the reason why Tisha was in college on a scholarship. Hey, Mims. Hey, everybody. Hey, Shan. Roy, what are your
But
thoughts about the opening scene? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Who was going to say something?
but it's not too late. If she really feels like she got take your go to school right now. I mean, you're on the show. Basically, everything Tisha got, you got access to right now, unless you want to buy into school. I mean, come on, let that dream go. Sorry, we're here.
I cannot with you.
Am I lying?
No, you're telling the truth, but and listen, let me tell you something. You can go to school anytime. When you hear about these adults, and when I'm saying adults, I'm talking about in their 80s, in their 70s, in their 90s, who never got a high school diploma and went back and got their high school diploma, or who never had the opportunity to go to college and they go back and get their bachelor's degree. So it's never too late. If you're breathing, you can do it, but you have to make the decision to do it and stop blaming other people for not having the life that you want. You got to do the work, as per Iyanla Van said. Put in the work.
Well, no, they don't even have to go to school anymore. As long as you are famous, they'll give you an honorary degree and you can walk across the stage like you did something. So really, she don't have any excuse now. You're on the own network. Make it happen.
you said walk across the stage like you did something.
I cannot.
Not with you.
Right here,
I
right here.
could not with you.
What are your thoughts right here? Well, somebody saying they're all saying that Kiki is a college graduate, so maybe she did go, but I don't know. But I know that
Yeah,
she
she's a
came out
college
of
graduate, but she's older than Tisha, so they did not go
No,
to
she's
school
younger.
together. Like they weren't in the they maybe like she was coming out as Tisha was coming in, but they were not like in school together at the same
wait, Monique is
time.
saying Kiki was a professor at a university. She's well educated, just made poor
Yeah,
decisions.
she was.
Teaching
Oh,
one subject.
All right, but go ahead, Roya. What are your
But anyways, I was very confused about this scene from the jump, coming into it last week on that ending episode. It really confused me because I felt that, like some other people on this show who shall remain nameless, um, she didn't accept responsibility for the part that she played in it. It was like, especially it was for me when she said, "You took my friend from me." I took,
yeah,
like, what? Like, what are we talking about? It was just like she was trying to come up with whatever excuse she could to just push past the situation as if nothing ever happened. Like, and for Letitia, I don't think it's just the one issue. I think it's the overall picture of everything. I tried to help you at your lowest moment. And even when I tried to help you, you still, turned on me. And then, I bring you to the show and you still turn on me. It was just the back of the backstabbing. And I don't, I, I agree with what you said, Diva. We could have left Destiny on here and seen how that was going to carry out versus this sob storyline. Like it was boring, and
yeah.
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So okay, so they're clearing it up for us. Yes, Tisa is the older cousin. Kiki is the
Hmm.
younger cousin because Tisa said it at the spa. But then
Hmm.
also Shan is and everybody's saying that Kiki worked at the college. That's how she knew about the scholarship and told Tisa about it. So you don't get that. Thank you, Erin, so much for helping me out there.
Aaron's
Thanks.
the best. I love
Yes,
Aaron.
I know she's God sent too, right? He said 150 people in the room, only 85 likes. Come on, people, show us some love, okay? Hit that like button, and because you on this train for free right now. If you did not hit the like button,
Hmm.
so and I go back to what you said,
Security,
Rob.
security.
At a security, right? I go back to what you said, Robin. I do think they have a better story to tell because they were very close as cousins. And drugs is a real issue in a lot of families. And so that substance tore them apart. Okay. So they do have a better story to tell than this situation of we're not speaking because you talked about me. Okay. They should tell the other pieces of their story because I think it's amazing how your cousin worked out of school, saw the scholarship, called you up, you got that scholarship, and that's how you went to school. Let us hear more of that. So actually, you know what? Listen, okay, does anybody get to go back to school in Georgia at the age of 60 or older, no matter what no matter what level of degree you're trying to get? I may have to go to Georgia in a couple years and get me a whole nother degree on something here. Okay, that's nice. Free college. That's good information because these schools are ridiculous with the amount of money that they're charging. Okay, I
Yeah.
know I'm dealing with it right at this particular moment, but we ain't
I
gonna
still
go
got
there.
my student loan. My student loan still calling me. Hey, girl. I'm like, how y'all doing?
How you doing? We here. We both good. Get out of here, right? So now let me tell you what I thought was nice. The next scene, the conversation that Marcel had with his dad, right? Because the
Yes.
dad, it's always great when you have a parent that said, listen, I went down the wrong road. I don't want you to go down that road too. So the
Yeah.
dad said he always worked. He worked extra at General Motors because, and I've done that too myself. I went ahead and worked the holidays. Why? Because you get double time and you figure you need that money for your family. But he said and the dad said his first cruise was when he was 50. So
Yeah.
I appreciated the dad for telling him, like, this is my truth. I don't want you to go down that same path. But I also appreciated Marcel in that moment to say, like, Dad, you did a good job. You know, so it was a great, and these are the moments that I live for on the reality TV, right? Is when you have the great special moments like this. You know, you got a dad feeling a little guilty, but the son telling him, no, we good. And then you got the son who's doing too much and working a lot. And I understand Marcel's, situation. It's
Mhm.
like you always think, okay, let me do this one last thing and we'll be good. But the thing is, like, you're always chasing it. Because then if you get the house, you need to furnish the house, then upkeep the house, and then you got the lawn, and then you got this. So it's like a never ending story, but you do got to find some balance of, let me be with the family and let
Right.
me do this too. So I thought that was a great scene and great conversation, and I live for that moment. Juice, what are your thoughts about, and him showing, and and Marcel being a show to dad, like, this is what I built. I'm gonna have a legacy for the kids, and I like that. What are your thoughts on that?
I love the scene with the dad. First of all, when the dad walked in, I thought it was one of his friends.
I did
I,
too.
I didn't think it was his dad, but when you said his dad, I was like, okay. But I love the conversation that they had. And again, I'm like Diva. I love these scenes on these reality shows. Dad sat down, he's telling Marceau how proud he is of, the place they are. And Marceau's proud, showing him around what he has built. And dad did have the conversation with him. Listen, I love what you're doing. However, there's another project over here that you need to pay more attention to, and that's the project of your family. You
Mm-hmm.
don't want to lose out on that. And I think that dad was speaking from a place of experience. And he doesn't want his son to go through what he went through. And he's telling him, listen, take the time out and spend the time with the family while you have the time, while you're able to afford that time. Spend it with them now. These are the times that count. These are the important moments. I do also understand Marceau, where he was basically saying, and I said this on my channel, Marceau is feeling like, I'm afraid that if I stop, something's going to mess up and the money won't be right. So
Yes.
I feel as though at that point, Marceau was speaking from maybe somewhere in his past or somewhere along the line, there was no money there and he's afraid to go back to that place. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of what it sounded like to me. Like he wants to spend time if he can, but there's a fear of, if I do, I'm going to miss out on this money and I'm going to be back in the place that I used to be in. That's the way I felt.
No, I agree with you on that. And I really agree with you because it's like, I think he's first generational wealth on his level for his family. And so is his brother, right? And
Mhm.
it's like, because both of them kind of feel the same way about work. Because
Right.
remember the beginning stages of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Kimmy always got on Maurice about working so much, right?
Mhm.
Not
Mhm.
each other, but he said the same similar thing. It's like, okay, I got to make this money. We can't starve. I got to, build this legacy. I got to build these things. So it's always hard when you are the first generation trying to move yourself up. And not to throw us off topic, I think that's a lot of what Candy suffers from, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to take 99 jobs because all of these people depend on me. And I was going to get you where here. All these people depend on me, and I'm building this wealth not just for me, but for our kids and for my family at large. So I
Yeah.
connect with you on that. The Don, what are your thoughts on that scene with Marcel and his dad?
This is the first time I've seen Marceau let his walls down,
Mm,
show humility, and actually take what somebody was saying to him.
mm,
Out of all the people who've ever, the doctor, everybody that's ever tried to talk to Marceau as a human being, as a little boy, he he always pushes them off, even his wife.
mm-hmm.
Marceau sat there and honored his dad.
He did.
That scene was the best scene I've seen on the show so far as the men. His dad told him, he didn't cut him off, he wasn't disrespectful. You can tell that he honors his father. um
Agreed.
his father gave him some tidbits that I hope that he takes heed to, because he has a son looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to have to break that before his son, thinks that that's the way to do it. That's the way to live. Yes, money is good. Yes, you want to have inheritance for your kids, but do you want to leave Earth before you can enjoy, what you've made? You don't want to work yourself to death, literally to death. And it seems to me Marcel doesn't trust the owner of the company. He doesn't trust to give her some things to work on. It's like he wants to be in charge of everything. And why do you have an owner? Why do you have a partner? Why do you have employees? If the company is being run correctly, then you can delegate things and you don't have to take everything on by yourself. And I just generally think that his dad really spoke to him, and I hope he takes heed to that.
I do too. I truly appreciated the scene a lot. This I like this. Cat Williams said, "Get you some white friends so they can teach you how to make money in your sleep." See, that is the other thing that we got to learn too, is to have some businesses that work for you while you laying in the bed sleep. Okay, while you getting your good night's sleep, you making money in your dreams. And we do have to learn about opportunities like that, so that all of our opportunities that we have is not us physically working ourselves to the bone. Okay, so yeah, that's a great comment. But maybe Cat Williams, I believe there are a ton of we just got to tap into them. They exist though. Black people, African Americans out there too that know how to make money while you're sleeping. E, what are your thoughts on that scene?
Marcel cannot delegate anything out because he is just a customer service rep, and Tisha is the team lead. We have to follow the pecking order. And I'm going to be the Debbie Downer tonight, and that's fine. That's fine. I don't think this scene was that great. It all looked like a scheme that Todd set up.
Come on. Yes, E, come on.
No, don't do that, E. But go ahead. Don't do that. Don't do that.
He's speaking to me. Come on, E.
How is the father coming on the screen to preach about spending time with family, but never addressed his son on camera for mistreating his wife and embarrassing his kids? What shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? I just did not think I didn't think that was appropriate. And I want to see the father hold his son accountable. That's what I want to see, because this representation of the Scott bloodline on the OWN network does not look good. You showed humility to your father, a man you rarely see, but nothing but the wife you work for and sleep with every night. Oh, no, sir. The father said, I wrote it down. Hold on. The father said, you're busy making a living, but I want you to make a life. Excuse me, sir. He's not making a living, but he's spending the money. And let's call a thing the thing. He's definitely living the life. How can you go home to a fool every night and live two separate lives and not be? He's been in motels after motels. Are we just going to forget everything that happened before this season? He's been living the life. Don't even go there. What did they talk about that woman last semester, the side chick? They call her built like a linebacker. We saw pictures of Marcel's back. He's wide as a white refrigerator too. So listen to me. Marcel is a hot mess, and he's definitely been around the block a few times. Remember, he just went to Africa last year without his wife and kids. Don't tell me he hasn't been on no vacation and been living the life. Excuse yourselves. And the father is talking about Tisha's hair is gray. I would imagine it might be if you go to Africa for a few weeks and come back without being served with the marriage dissolution papers. Hell yeah, things look different and her hair is gray. You think? The father said one more thing that I thought was disturbing. He said there's a difference in being busy and being productive, and Marcel knows plenty about that. He's not really doing anything but coasting off of Tisha and hanging his degrees up on the wall like he's just finished his medical residency. Marcel is a derelict of what a Black husband should be. And he's in the house, but he's not present. So I'm not giving him any slack, him or his father, because until they hold each other accountable for the misrepresentation of Black fatherhood and Black husbands they put on television, you can count me out.
Well, in the words of Nene, not a white refrigerator.
Y'all, I'm still stuck on Todd. I'm still stuck on Todd.
Well, I mean, I
Yeah,
thought it
Todd
was a
took me out of here.
heartfelt moment, but I mean, check me for a moment. Listen, E, cut them a little bit of slack. Daddy tried, okay? Daddy tried. I forgot about Africa, but y'all gotta bring me back. You know, I forgot he sure did go to Africa by himself. So you're right, he's taking a moment for himself. But listen, Daddy was trying. He had a heartfelt conversation. And Marcel, listen. All right, but thank you, E, for your thoughts. Good gosh, is all I can say to that. Okay, Robin, what are your thoughts?
He took us to the basement. I'm gonna take us to the sub basement.
Oh,
Come
So
on, Auntie Robin.
I didn't think it was so heartfelt either. I thought there was all a setup that Carlos King set up, thinking he was tied, but he didn't succeed. Here's the thing. I like to start by saying that I understood that what the father was saying, given the life lesson, because of course, as he looked back on his life, let's remember, Daddy lives in Detroit. Daddy worked for General Motors. Daddy was blind. He was. I think that he was only thinking about, I work for the car company. I can do an extra shift. I can do overtime, and he was just stacking his money. That's it. Of course, now very much in retrospect, he can look like this big whatever. But where was he all along? So I feel like he was kind of absent. I also thought that I saw Marcel. He was respectful and deferential, but he was also that little boy, be so happy for his father's approval. I saw that very clearly.
yeah.
I excuse me. Wait a minute. I got all excited. I'm losing my train of thought. Okay. So, and I just continue to have issues with Marcel. I don't believe, and I said this on Juice's channel, I don't believe that he's a hard worker. I think that he does a lot of busy work, because I don't feel like I see him doing anything. I think what Don said about Marcel and his business, I think that he is really exhibiting a great deal of bravado and like just trying to take over. And the way that he spoke to Letitia just about the business, you're the owner, but I do the work. No, everything about that was crazy. Not only what he said to her, but how is he going to put her out of her office space? And by the way, I don't believe that was real. So I just was like, I was not moved. I was not impressed. I didn't believe.
Hey, AT2. Listen, you know what? I know everybody got their opinion. I'm still sticking to, I felt like it was heartfelt. I really, and listen, I think that, I think that a certain, hold on one second. I think that a certain generation, it was like, not only do you go to work and you work hard for your family, you stay at that job for your whole existence of your work life, because that's what was taught. My dad worked his same job for 60 something years, same company. He worked his whole life, the same company, and he left for a second and then he came back. So, and it was a family owned business and they knew him very well. They knew us very well. I used to go to his job all the time. So, but that's what they was taught. My aunt, my dad's sister, worked for General Motors, worked there her whole life. Okay, left with her pension, and that's what they encourage. When we was, me and my cousins, when we was about to graduate high school, they, their word was, you go get yourself a good government job and you're going to retire with your 401k and your pension and all of that stuff, right? So I was the first generation of college graduates, and then my brothers and sisters and everybody came behind me, but I was one of the first in my family. And and then my mother, when I was going to go, because my mother gave me two options, I lived in the city, and then in the midst of high school my mother moved to Jersey and I nearly passed out. And I was in protest from the moment we stepped foot in New Jersey. I was cutting a fool, right? And my mother let me cut a fool. And then when I graduated high school, I wasn't doing anything. I was just chilling and living off the land and my dad's money. And my mother gave me a minute. Then she came in my room and she said, you got two options, okay? And then she said, here they are. You're going to go to the mall And I had to catch the bus because I wasn't driving, because in the city you don't need a car, right? So, and but in Jersey you do. My mother had the bus schedule. She put the bus schedule in my face. She said, first you're gonna go down to the college, the community college, and you're gonna sign up. Then she said, you're going to go to the mall and you're going to get yourself a job. And then she told me I got 30 minutes because the bus leaves in 30 minutes and it don't come for the next hour. But either way, I'm going to still leave out the house. I was like, hold on, wait, that we need to talk. She said, there's nothing to talk about, right? That's what you need to do. And so that's what I had to do. So I'm just saying, like, his dad definitely comes from the school of thought, like, you work for your family. Do you know what I mean? You work for your family, you get yourself a good job. And then, of course, when you're a working person, most working people, they go ahead and take those shifts where you get in overtime and double time and all of that particular stuff, right? So I did connect with the dad. I didn't think it was so much of a big setup that, like, oh, sit down and have this conversation. I don't know. I connected with the conversation, and I know a lot of my family members, because I have my mom worked at the post office. Okay, another thing, like a government type job. You understand what I mean? So my family comes from that school of thought that you work for one of those entities like that, and you're gonna have yourself a pension and a 401k, and your life is gonna be good. One of my very close friends, his dad was a cop. And his dad told him, I don't even know why you're going to college. Okay, you need to go get this civil service job and you're going to live a good life. Okay, matter of fact, when he went to college, his dad was like, well, you on your own. So he had to figure out how to pay for college on his own, because his dad was dead set on, you need to go get a civil job and stop it, because you're going to end up with a nice pension and all of this stuff. And so those people from that generation, that was their way of saying, this is how you're going to be good and take care of your family. But what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are are in the year of our Lord 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't have to come to you and tell you that you need to take a break from your family. I mean, your family, you see when your family's suffering, you see when your wife is unhappy, you see when your children are unhappy. I mean, it's just the same manipulative game that Marcel has been playing since the beginning. We sit you down, we have these conversations for you to go back and continue to do the same stuff you've been doing. So, I mean, if we were trying to do it for a scene just to see who his daddy is, it was nice, for them to come together, smoke a cigar, hang out, for him to enjoy the fruits of his son's labor. But, other than that, nobody should have to come and tell you that, you need to take some time out for your family. Your wife has been asking you that. Your children have been asking you that. This ain't nothing new. And I understand that he was coming from a dad perspective, but my thing is, if you won't even listen to your wife and what she is asking for you to do as your wife, what makes you us think that you're going to listen to your dad? Like, yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
But okay, you
Absolutely
know
right.
what? Yeah, they're reminding me of stuff, right? They the dad and the mom wasn't together. Um yeah, I'm kind of remembering that too, right? Jay DeVal said, I think Marcel dad, mom and dad divorced when they were growing up. Previously, Marcel mentioned they were almost homeless growing up and the dad wasn't there. And then Tugga said, remember when him and his brother was talking to Martel about going on vacation with Mel, might confuse the kids. I don't think everything was good with their parents. That father wasn't around. Right. So maybe because the father wasn't around, he knows all too well of the implications of what might happen. And he's trying to save Marceau and tell him to do the right thing.
Well,
Yeah,
can I
And so you would think,
Diva,
because he has experience with his dad not being around, you would think that he would do better and try to be around for his wife and kids. And
He's
he
too
has not
selfish.
done those things.
They were a lot worse if
Literally,
have that
Tisha
have
had
that
to
experience.
force him to watch the children, to make a meal for the children, to
Diva,
spend time with the
That
children.
part.
She
something
had to
about that
force
dad
him.
stories does
but
not
wait a minute.
jail.
okay,
He
hold
talking
on.
about he worked.
Okay, hold on, guys. Auntie Natty, Aunt Natty, go ahead. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? And then I'm coming to you, Juliet.
They said that they had to sleep on in church pews. They had to sleep on floors. So if daddy was making all that overtime and all of that money, they talked about how they went to bed hungry one time. They talked like they were really poor. So what was the daddy doing with all that overtime money? That was all. I'm like, that was a scheme
Mhm.
that Todd drew up to bring us the bull diggity. That
Mhm.
man was not in their life. He
Mhm.
didn't get no money. They said
Mhm.
their mama had to work several jobs for them to even
Mhm.
have a place to stay and eat. So what was he doing with all that overtime money he was making?
Taking care of his
Saying
other
He
Something
was
ain't
in
clean
family.
in the
he was
something
in the
ain't
same
clean in the
motels as
buttermilk.
Marcel.
Well, I guess we got.
Eh,
I
Uh,
guess I'm on the train alone. I
yeah, I
mean,
was trying to say it nicely, but thank you, Aunt Nettie.
Yeah, thank you, Annette. We
That
appreciate you.
I didn't feel that I what did Nam tear fall, did Nam's sympathy card fall. That was straight BS. That
Correct.
was just camera time. You
Eh,
bring your daddy came all the way to Michigan. You got Basement Billy. You got Vanilla Ice Cream Cone. You got Millicent Micaiah. And he didn't stop to talk to nobody but Baby Shark T. Come on now.
Baby
Look like Vanilla Ice Cream Cone would have been there black with his daddy too.
Okay.
right that
So
part,
my
and it's
I
just
have
like,
a I want to say something and then
Let,
I'll turn it over. Diva, you
let me
spoke
say
about
this right quick, E.
oh Lord,
okay.
Mel said they could not use her for a storyline this season, right? So they grasping for storyline.
mm,
That's all that is.
mm.
That they when they mention their daddy, they don't have nothing good to say about daddy.
Correct.
Now all of a sudden, daddy, they just him and daddy just like this. Come on now.
Well, the thing is, it's going to be the pathology because Marcel's son is not going to have great things to say about him either. But we'll talk about that later. Diva, you
Yeah.
said that your father worked the same job for 30 years, and
No,
it took me back.
60,
Oh,
60.
60 years, my apologies.
Uh-huh.
And it reminded me of my grandmother. She was born in the 40s. I think that's the boomers.
Mhm.
And she worked for Bell South and AT&T because they went through many changes and she retired from there. And one thing I will say,
Mhm.
I'm very close to my grandmother. She took me to all the Disney movies, anything I wanted, because I was her first granddaughter on my maternal side. Just because these people are working these jobs for these 30 and 60 years, that doesn't mean that they don't have time to be with their kids. Because my grandmother always made time for me. And I just wanted to say that Marcel's father,
Mhm.
he's a derelict too. But we'll get to that later. Go ahead. I interrupted Julius.
Gosh.
Sorry, Julius.
All right. I
That's
guess to
right,
y'all,
E.
they shuck us off the train. Okay. The train went a little off the track. They saying it wasn't a heartfelt moment. I mean, I thought it was. I got fooled. They caught me. They
I
caught
just
me
have
out
to
there.
say,
Yes, Julius.
I just have to say, and it's just like this has had. I'm gonna be honest. This has been turning me off from the show because I've been reading like the synopsis and stuff like that.
Okay.
Is because he's been through it as a child.
Mm-hmm.
He's that child, but yet you putting your kids through the same pain for what?
Mm.
Why?
Because
Because
maybe
like
he didn't learn, so he doesn't know anything better.
my thing is, even if him and his father reconnected as they were older,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then it's on Montel to do the right thing. And you
You
just
mean
trying to
Marcel, baby? You getting the derelicts mixed up.
Oh my God.
You mean
oh
Baby Shark T?
well, like she said, baby shark teeth. I'm gonna use that from now on because I like it. Baby shark teeth. It's on it's on
Have you
him.
saw his top teeth?
I heard they messed up.
Oh, Lord.
um, but it's like it's up to him to work through his trauma, but what does he go and do? He runs from it and puts his kids through the same
Mm.
exact thing, but worse because they on national TV.
All right, well, y'all guided me on that. I mean, we might as well go to the next scene now because I can't. I thought it was a heartfelt moment. I was wrong. Okay. So listen, yes. Thank you, Nubian. I appreciate you. Yes. Okay. So Tisa and Kim and Kimmy meet up at a coffee shop and they're talking, and that's where Tisa lets Kimmy know that, I don't have my office. He got a new partner. He's disrespectful to me. He wouldn't let me put my degree up,
Degree.
but now this new person got their degree up, and and she tells her, listen, I'm gonna have this whole girls thing, I'm inviting everybody. She told her that her and Kiki, they came to a little truce or whatever, and then she calls Mel. Tisa calls Mel from the place, and Mel gave her the time of day. I thought that was pretty nice. And Kimmy wanted to give Tisa some tips on when she should speak to Marcel and how. And I said to myself, girl, you giving tips and you can't even you don't even know how to talk to your husband. Your husband be sitting there punking you all day long. You about to have surgery and you gonna cook food to make sure he eat. Honey, he would have been calling DoorDash and all of that. Why? Because
did he ever take home
Preach,
economics in
Diva.
middle school?
That part. Okay.
Like,
That,
come on.
on.
Everybody knows how to turn on the stove now.
That part
Or
right
microwave.
there. That part.
First of all, he wouldn't have kicked me out of no office I was the boss of. If I'm the boss, I'm gonna put you out.
That part.
That part.
And it
Listen, he's a mess.
Tisha ain't the boss or nothing. He put Thick Tongue on that paperwork for two reasons. His credit was bad, and for if a double minority when it come to getting contracts. She's black and she's female. She's boss on paper only. Thick Tongue needs to sit down. He ain't never respected her. He ain't gonna respect her. He's not working. He don't want her in that office. Money. When that baby get about 16.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think at the time where she purchased his what's his Martel's portion, I think she had the money for it.
She did.
I think
but
she had
remember,
the money for it. Go ahead.
With the 47 acres, Diva, Baby Shark Chief of Vanilla Ice Cream Cone never put their name on the papers because their credit wasn't good. Only Thick Tongue and Kimmy signed, Mel and Marcel. That's when Mel asked cut out the 47 acres deal because their name wasn't on the paperwork because they credit bad. Vanilla Ice Cream can't fix nobody's credit because his is bad. They done all filed bankruptcy. All those lawsuits is gonna fall back on Thick Tongue because she's listed as the owner of that company.
No, you know what? Here's the thing. I think that the dynamics between Tisa and Marcel, it is what it is. She know who she married, and I think that her voice is coming partially because of this show. I think that if they were never on this show, she wouldn't even have a voice. Because she barely has a voice now, but she does try to speak up. But I think her courage is coming from the show. And like I said, Kimmy gave her some tips, but you see it still didn't work out because at the dinner table, he just gaslit her some more, okay? He was like, what owner is in their business? As a matter of fact, I'm going to throw that scene in and then we'll go around and talk. When they're at dinner, and it's the kids, it's them, and he took time. He took the father's advice and he took time to spend time with the kids. And then they're all sitting down having dinner. And even the son said, I wouldn't be letting my spouse talk to me like that. Right.
That part.
And when she tried to have a conversation with him, the conversation kind of went nowhere. Because one thing I say about Marcel, he know how to spin some stuff around. And when the way he spins it around on her, there's no recovery. She doesn't know what to say. She doesn't know how to get herself out of the cyclone that he puts her in, and she just gets lost and she gets quiet. And the point is that all I would have said to him if he was my husband, one, you better tell that man to get up out my office, take his degree off the wall, because I don't know how you decided you was going to give away my office, but it's not going down. It's not happening. So when you get to work tomorrow, since you the one that's working and I'm the boss, tell him to get out the boss office, point blank and period. Then I would have went in the kitchen, put the food away, put the dishes in the dishwasher, and went on upstairs to bed. There's nothing else to talk about. You want to allow somebody else to put their degree on the wall, but you wouldn't allow me to put mine on the wall? Have you lost your everlasting mind? And you don't let it slip that you giving somebody else my office, because that's my office. I'm your wife, and no matter what goes down, I own the majority of that company. And even if I'm not in the day-to-day business, if I was someone else, you would not give away your boss's office, point blank in a period. You would have put up a desk in the corner and say, you got to sit here. And if I do give you a piece of this office, I have to talk to the boss first. So get out of here, Marcel. He's a mess. I'm going to start up with you, Roy. What are your thoughts?
You know, it's not really much you can ever say about Marcel. He just, every time I turn around, he just never disappoints. He just it's always the same. The fact that even your children do not receive the way that you talk to their mother. I mean, it just, it's despicable. It's despicable. And I seen someone in the comments say that they see that Tisha is starting to, speak up and find her voice. And we have to get Tisha past this point of speaking up and finding her voice. We have to get Tisha to the point, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, everybody. We need to get her to the point of moving out of this verbally and mentally abusive relationship. He has been verbally and mentally, and I'll even be as strong to say as emotionally abusive to this woman, to the fact where she has not had her own voice in such a long time to be able to stand up for when she feels wrong has been done to her. And it's just very unfortunate, that he cannot see the pattern that he has created and the example or lack thereof that he has shown to his children on how to treat a woman. It's sad.
It is sad. You know what? I'm gonna be very honest with you. I think that they should have kept Destiny. We want reality TV, right? And don't get me wrong, I don't like some of the antics of Miss Wanda, but I think it's a real situation, right? So they
Come
should
on, Diva.
Come
have
on,
kept
come
Miss
on.
Wanda on this show. They should have kept Destiny on the show. And all of these reality shows, I don't think it's right that when y'all don't get along with somebody, y'all want to kick them off.
See what
Well,
I'm
that's
saying?
not the real world, because in the real world, there's a lot of people you may work with that you can't stand, but that don't mean they're about to get fired. Okay, you got to figure out how to deal with them. So
Ain't nobody gonna come in
I'm
between me and my check.
right, that part, Julia. So I just feel like, when they want to remix the situation, it usually doesn't work out well. And now I guess, I forgot who said it. Y'all right. Now that Melody can't be their storyline, it's like, what's really happening here? Like, what is going on? We're like getting a whole bunch of nothing. And before I come to you, Robin, I might as well go ahead and add the last spa scene, which was a whole hot mess. Okay. Like I said, Tiffany being messy with the baby all up in her belly. Trying to get Melody to talk about Kiki, but like someone said, Melody and Kiki, they think it's thieves. Like Melody would not even say a word about Kiki. And I think part of it is though that Melody has limited people she can really film with, because she's not getting along with anybody really, so much so outside of Kimmy, right? Stormy, I feel like, is always going to be that rah-rah girl, because when they split the group and then she heard her name come up, she came back with the rah-rah ready to be like, yo, who talking about me? And I just think, to me, I'm not sure why Stormy is a part of this show. All right. I don't listen. You want to be a part of it, be a part of it. But I don't know. I feel like it's doing less for her brand versus more. I just feel that way. I think it's the way, and she seems like she can be a really good friend, a nice person, and all of that. But I think the way that she's coming across on the show, it has people on the fence about her. And when you have a business, why take that chance? I don't know. In an established business, it's not like you built your business once you got on this show. She built her business from the ground up. That girl house is for real. Her money is for real. And it's like, why did you need to come on this show? I don't get it. I would love for her to answer that particular question.
She been
I
trying to
think
get
she
on
came
TV
for reality
forever,
TV.
Diva.
Okay, and I'm gonna spin around. So go ahead, Roy. I'll start with you. Might as well start with you.
It was my turn.
I'm sorry, Robin. Go ahead. It
Well,
was your
let
turn.
me comment on this last
Go
thing
ahead.
since you
Go
put it
ahead,
in there.
Maria.
Let me comment real quick. Sorry.
Okay.
I think to answer your question with Stormy, I think that Stormy actually came to do reality TV, and she's seeing that reality TV is not the reality that she thought it would be. Because in my opinion, Stormy comes off more genuine than anybody on this show.
Absolutely.
It's not fake. I never get fake from Stormy. I
Mm.
just Stormy walks into these things and she's just herself. And the conflict, because she's so wrapped up in the conflict, then she has no choice but to be the rah-rah chick because you're wrapped up in all this conflict. And I think that's her first response, if you may, because she's always on the defense now because of the fallout of her and Melody. Now, this scene overall, just from the beginning, from jump, after Keke showed up, it just threw the whole vibe off. I knew it was not going to be a peaceful day. I think if we were looking for a real peaceful day, Keke should have not been there. Because she has created such bad blood with so many other cast members that there was no way that it was going to be a peaceful day. She's not getting along with Kimmy. Her and Tisha ain't getting along. Tiffany don't like her. She don't like Stormy. I mean, she came into the room and made these statements. So, I mean, it was just giving another male. And my thing is, if you're gonna be here and you can't get along with nobody, what's your purpose of being here? Why are you here? And then it bothered me.
Wait, I'm
Now,
worried. Hold on. I'm gonna let you finish, right? But let me say this. No, if nobody brought up, it seemed like they kind of came for Keke. If nobody brought up Keke's past situation, why could that thing could have been a whole lot better? Octavia, thank you for the super sticker. I truly appreciate it. Do you understand what I mean? So like you rolling Keke under the bus. You rolled her under the train. She got train marks over her. But Keke, they brought up an old situation, and that's how Keke was in the mix of this. Do you see what I mean?
Well,
but go ahead.
An old situation was brought up because the cousin brought it to the group. And as you stated, Diva, when we have someone in the group who has dibbled and dabbled in substance abuses, the people want to know. We want to know.
What about when you thieving from the mall? She didn't tell Mel to lock up her purse because she might steal all her coins out of it, did she?
Well, I don't know nothing about that. But the fact of the matter is, Diva, you said it yourself. It is the responsibility of the cousin to share with everyone the issue that is going on, right?
No.
Hold on. I didn't say everyone. I said with Mel and Marcel at the time because they was agreeing to take Keke in for whatever reason. But no, I don't think you have to show up and tell everybody my cousin used to, do XYZ. No. No.
I disagree. I need to know.
I love you,
who's
Royal,
in my
but you
circle.
wrong,
I need to
darling.
know what's going on because I don't know what you may do. Who's to say that you're not going to bounce back and fall back into your old ways? And next thing you know, my car come up missing out of my wallet. Then what? Who am I supposed to look at?
Tisha, Thick Tom, she the one known for stealing and laying on the baby stealing the lip gloss at the mall.
All right, hold on. Okay, finish prayer.
Anyways, I thought it was just it was out of I don't think she needed to be there. I don't see her purpose to being on this show. She's not adding any value to it. She's not giving us any kind of storyline. You've been here for 2 episodes. We ain't seen your husband, your kids, your reality. What were you here for? And then though Tiffany was messy in her questioning, I felt like she was right to ask the questions that she asked. I mean, if you would do this to your cousin, who's to say you ain't gonna turn around and do this to me? And then for Mel not to give a response because this is your friend. Now, this is your friend that you brought into the group. And I'm asking you questions about your friend. And you can't give no answers for your friend to look out for your friend, to make your friend look some kind of good. I mean, you just
She
don't give
did say
nothing.
Keke was a
So you
good
wouldn't be willing
person,
to
and
fight for
that's
your
all.
friend? Mm-mm. No.
Okay, Maria.
I
Robin.
love you, baby.
I love you too.
But you
Robin,
wrong.
hold on. Robin, go ahead.
Okay, I'd like to go back to where the situation with the being dispossessed from her office. We do know that Marcel has stated very publicly and very clearly that he wished he did not work with his wife.
He did.
But the thing about that is they did work together and they shared that office space. I found it pretty unbelievable, incredulous, didn't buy that she was somehow displaced from her desk like that, especially since they worked day by day to day, side by side. So I thought that was pretty fake. I thought it was ridiculous that she would be meeting somebody in a coffee shop. I think that Marceau is disgustingly condescending, misogynistic, and some other adjectives I can't think of, but they all mean horrible, bad, mean person. That he would condescend to her and explain to her the difference between an owner and someone who runs the company. I thought that he was way out of pocket. Them the family time that they had with the dinner was also very suspicious to me, mostly because it's clear that we know that they don't spend a lot of family time together. But two things that struck me were, I know y'all don't have dinner together because, son, you're not wearing the headphones at my dinner table. That's number one.
That part.
Number two, though, is that I felt like when the son made the remark to his father, I would not let my spouse speak to me like that. That was something that was in his heart for a minute. And that he said it, he was very convicted about it. And I felt like he was fed up because he is quite aware of his father's behavior. And I believe he doesn't approve of how he treats his mother. About the spa, it felt like filler to me. I didn't have it. Still don't have any appreciation for the role that they present Tiffany is having, because I don't believe that she's at her core that messy. I think that she's more substantive than that, and so she's getting a bad shake, my opinion. And I agree with you, Roy Air, about Stormy. I do believe she's genuine. I also believe that Stormy came on that show with the true belief that how the show was presented to all of us, entrepreneurs, professionals, seeing their business. I really think that she thought that she was going to be able to showcase and show us that. I still maintain that you can have a cast that is not linked together. They're not all best friends. We can all belong to an organization and only come together when we have meetings and special projects. And I think that the show would be more genuine if we were able to see the people in that light. And I know I keep saying that, but don't worry, folks. I'm only going to say it until after this reunion because I'm swearing off of this reality show after the season.
So let me just say this in terms of Stormy. Stormy, there was 2 seasons right before she came. And so she couldn't have possibly, she's a smart girl. She couldn't have possibly thought, oh, I'm going to come up there to showcase my business. Because if she watched, she would know that very little scenes showcase any business on Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I can't roll with that particular situation right there. That's what she thought she was coming.
I'm not trying to convince anybody of my opinion. I'm just sharing mine.
No, I'm not, and I'm not trying to convince you of mine either. I'm bouncing off of what you said. So I don't, I can't see how she would think that. I can't see how anybody in this world would go to any reality show at this point in their life and pretend like they don't know what it is. Especially to me, you need to do your due diligence. If you don't watch any reality show, but then you sign up for one, to me, you're a fool. Now, if you one of the first people to ever do a reality show, then I want to hear your story about like, oh my gosh, this happened, that happened. I didn't know this, I didn't know that. But when you are working with there's a million reality TV shows that you can tune into and watch. And you're smart enough to know if you hear a bunch of them say that, you know what, they cut it up the way they cut it up. Or what is it? Arena and Jamie came on, right? From Love and Marriage DC and said, listen, they chop it up the way they want to chop it up. It is what it is. What can you do? They make me seem like this person. So I just went ahead and rolled with it. So you got to be smarter than that to know that it's not going to be that easy for you to come up and say, oh, I make canvas beauty and that's what I'm here to sell. It's not going to happen. And to say that she's genuine, okay, I can roll with that with y'all, right? She's genuine, but sometimes you are the face of you own the business, but you can't be the face of the business. And so you should be smart enough when you have a business to know that either I can be the face of the business or maybe I can't. Maybe I need to get somebody else to be the face of the business because they're going to be more, and I don't want to use the word likable, but they're going to be better for the face of the business than I would be. So that's part of like business 101. You got to know what piece of this you're going to present, what piece of this you need somebody else to present, and who else do I need to hire that knows more about marketing, this, that, and the other. So people are flaky. And all I'm saying is, I don't, if it was just her, if she had no business to represent, and I would say, hey, go for it, Stormy. Show what you show on this TV screen and this reality TV show. But the fact that she has a business that she built up that is very lucrative outside of Love and Marriage Huntsville, I personally don't know if I would have rolled the dice this way, especially the way her mother was either portrayed or portrayed herself on that screen. But that is just me. I just personally wouldn't do that to my brand. And a brand that is huge outside of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And again, I'm not trying to shade Love and Marriage Huntsville, our own, but you're not even talking about one of the bigger platforms for reality TV. Not talking Bravo and Bravo checks. So you're risking all of this for OWN, Love and Marriage Huntsville, where the check ain't even all that because we heard it from a reality TV star themselves that is on OWN. That's just me. But Arnatti, what are your thoughts? Are you there?
First of all, that office scene. It is no way I own 85% of that company. Baby Shark T wouldn't have to tell Brother Man he got to go. I would tell him he got to go. And Baby Shark T could go with him if he didn't like my rules. I own this company. That scene, that dinner, and I'm gonna tell you what he's doing. He don't want her in that business because he's putting away money. Because when that baby girl gets 16, he gonna leave, and he don't want to be in the same shape Marcel is, broke, busted, and disgusted when he leaves. That dinner table scene. First off, for a multi-million-dollar business, y'all need to get a table big enough for all of y'all. That table was so small they had to step over each other. And please do not have no Thunderbird and MD 2020 wine bottles sitting up behind y'all the next time that camera come in there. He tried to downgrade that woman. He tried to make her feel guilty for not being there to cook dinner every night for those children. That older girls told him, well, what about you cooking, Dad? When that boy told him, I would not let my spouse disrespect me like that after 17 long years, that let me know it's been a lot of turmoil in that house because he put long onto that. His mother has been disrespected ever since he's been big enough to notice the disrespect. He told her that she was not bringing in any money at that desk. So that meant he had zero value of her. She need to, and whatever she tried to say, he had an answer ready for it. She the one got the MBA, not him. So how you gonna tell her the hierarchy of a business? For Stormy, Stormy had watched Love. She said she was a fan of Love and Marriage before she got on the show. She also tried to get on Bell Collectors, but she lived in DeKalb and not Jackson. She also sent a pilot for her own reality show and it didn't make it. Stormy just wanted to be on reality TV. Point
Mm.
blank, period. And that scene, Royale, I disagree with you with what you said. The reason, if you listen to Carlos, Kiki was supposed to have been on there from season one. The reason they told her that was so Vanilla Ice Cream Cone and Kimmy could get that spot. She went with her husband people against her cousin. And the fact is she confided in Thick Tongue. But Thick Tongue then told her business to Baby Shark Teeth. And he's the one that told Mel Ness. It don't make sense. Tiffany was not at the Christmas party. Don't know what happened at the Christmas party. She's just going on by what somebody told her happened at the Christmas party, and it wasn't her business. Point blank, period. Just because you pregnant, your mouth ain't pregnant and your face ain't pregnant. She talked to the wrong one, because I'd have popped her right in her mouth. Mel did say that Kiki was a good person, but Tiffany kept poking and kept poking. You're not going to make me say nothing bad about my friend. So I done told you she's a good person. So I'm going to ignore you. I'm going to pay you dust. And hope you shut that HE double hockey sticks up. Tiffany's mouth is too big. That's the reason Baby Shark Teeth said he would have slapped her when she said something to Sheree, which he was totally out of line. I don't agree on no man putting his hand on no woman. But she's always poking in somebody's business when she need to be down there talking to her mama to find out which one of them black men really in that town her daddy. Now that's what her energy need to be focused on. Then maybe she'll have some cousins and she'll know what a cousin relationship is really like Kiki told her. You don't know what you're talking about. It ain't your business, and you don't know about a family dynamic. And Stormy gonna pop off on the wrong somebody. If that camera cut when Destiny was about to throw that chair at her. Sometimes you all mouth, but you better have something to back that mouth up. You can't get rah-rah with everybody all the time. Sometimes you have to sit back, listen, observe, and move accordingly. Especially if, like Diva say, you have a multi-million-dollar company and you are the face of the company. You have to think about things like that. You mean I'm gonna destroy that for this, like this little own check being rah-rah? I'm gonna lose customers. It's bad enough they wasn't getting a product for months. While you worrying about that, you should have been in that warehouse trying to find out why your product wasn't getting shipped out. I've never had any trouble getting mine, but several people have said they have. Okay.
Okay, well, the Don, what are your thoughts?
Well,
One more thing, Don.
Oh,
And
okay.
why Thick Tongue was telling Melody about a habit that Kiki had went through rehab for and no longer had. She should have told about them 8 records, arrest records she got for stealing, and then putting it on MJ. Baby Shark Team said no, MJ was putting the lip glosses in the strollers. They was rolling through the store. Then maybe Mel should have locked her purse up. If you're around to keep your eyes on your purse. And they got Wanda put hands on somebody. If you get violent in a workplace, you're going to get terminated.
Mm.
Bernard actually threatened her with a chopper, and he was on at the same scene where Wanda tried to put hands on Mel. And Destiny would not tell her story. She tried to tell everybody else's story. We still don't know why LeBerry sent her divorce papers while she was what? The baby law was 2, 3 weeks old.
But wait a minute, who did Miss Wanda hit? I missed that part.
She tried to hit Mel at the
Oh,
McDonough event.
is that why she's not on the show?
Violence. Yes.
Oh no, you got to be serious. You're not serious, are you?
Yes.
No, that's not good enough.
It's
That is
not.
good.
But wait, hold on, Aunt Natty. That's the Don. What are your thoughts?
It is clear that Mel and Kiki have something on each other. But Kiki better watch out because she's not going to be Mel's friend next season. There's a pattern there.
Speak on it, Don. Tell the truth.
And if Mel can sell Christmas trees, ironing boards, crutches, soda cans, water bottles, vegetable oil, laptops, mambo sauce, cough syrup, TV stands, ottomans, forks, cups, plates, and sandwich bags
I ain't fooling with you.
on
I cannot.
Love and Marriage Huntsville, then Stormy can sell her business. This woman has 48,000 businesses, and Stormy has a good legitimate one. So if Mel can do all of that, Stormy can sell her product as well. But the scene with the family, that little boy, first of all, like Auntie Robin said, you're not sitting at my table with no big old headphones on. You're not doing it. That was just disrespectful right there. But that boy was taking up for his mom. He was taking up for his mom, and he doesn't like the way his dad disrespects his mom. And Marcel better watch out, because when that boy gets older, it might be some words or something else that he's gonna in the words of my dad, he gonna be smelling himself. And he gonna walk up to Marcel for how he talks to his mom, and it may be some hands thrown, because you have the respect for your father, but a son not gonna let nobody talk to his mom any kind of way.
Right.
So he better take heed when he's speaking to his mom, because he's already. I think this was the first check, and the next one he may not want. Marcel may not want. Now, when it comes to Tisha, I don't know where Tisha came from, because she's the polar opposite from her mom. She's the polar opposite. And I could never be in a relationship with a woman as, this is going to be a word that might hit, weak as Tisha. My dad always told me to find a woman that if you're getting whooped, she's going to jump in the fight. And I don't think Tisha's that. I don't think she's that one. I like some pushback. I want you to cuss me out sometimes. I want you to tell me hell no. But I don't think Marcel can handle that. He not that type of guy. He like a weak woman, a passive woman, and that's what Tisha is. Like, she can get bucked with everybody else, but tell your husband no. Like, exactly. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You do it. But that massage scene was just, I was like, lady, you better shut up before you go into labor. They're gonna be bringing you the wheelchair in a few minutes.
Oh, good God.
But I was glad that Mel came, because that was gonna be her one and only scene that she was getting along with people. But did Marcel get paid for this episode? Because I didn't see him. We know he got some trouble. So
yeah, he got some trouble, but I think it filmed way before the trouble we seen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think he just happened to not be in this particular episode or whatever the case may be. But in real time, I heard that he didn't show up for court. So their standing with the kids stays the same. And so did I. I want to be clear. I don't have a problem with what's her name, Stormy, selling her line on the television. my thing for her is like, all the rest of them, they kind of established their line in their business once they got on the show. Where Stormy had this thing established way before she came on the show. And it was, to me, it's like, you built your thing up for scratch. You got something real.
Yeah, don't ruin it.
Yeah, don't ruin it, right? So
I
all
get
of
that.
them, yeah, all of them are coming to the show, and as a result of the show, they're getting. I think they have licensing deals. Do you know what I mean? Like they license with somebody for their sheets, their this, their that, whatever, and nothing's wrong with that. But Stormy legit, she owns Canvas Beauty. Um, and her story actually is amazing on how she started it. And she really, did an amazing and great thing. But we're not getting to see or hear any of that from her, right? We know her brand, Canvas Beauty, but then we get to see this particular side of her. And what is being shown to me, in my opinion, it's not favorable. It doesn't really put her in a good light. Now, the best I think we got from her is like, that's something I thought was a little more authentic is, the dynamic between her and her husband and her wanting another kid. Because I can see that how that happens in families. I can see, that conversation being had with perhaps a couple. But I think her overall package, if I were, her, what do you call it? Maybe her brand manager or something like that. I would say that if your brand was here when you started, instead of it going here, it's going down. That's just my opinion. Because I don't think everything is being showed in the best light in terms of who she is and how she would want to represent her brand. I've seen her brand way before she came. I didn't know who she was, and but I saw her brand on Facebook ads way before she even came on this show, and I saw her. And it was like her natural hair and one side was shaved, and her story just really touched my soul as to how she started her business and how she had a dream, and she said God came to her dream and kept telling her the different ingredients to use in her products. And that, to me, I really connected with this person I didn't even know from that Facebook ad in her story. And now to get to see Stormy and know Stormy, it just puts a different spin on it. I think she's just diminishing her brand, but that's me. Eve, what are your thoughts?
Like I told y'all earlier, it's no order in the Scott household, only chaos. What good is it to have a man in the house if all he does is sleep there? Marcel is there, but he is not present. And the Don is right. When that son gets older, he is really going to go hard with the mouth. And I cannot wait because the miscalculation of the advice Marcel's dad gave him was to hang out with your family now. Too little, too late. The kid's about grown, ain't it? Let's just have a moment of, we have to think about these personalities have already developed, is what I'm trying to say. And these kids have a lot of Tisha in them and a lot of their grandmammy even more. Because these people were around them much more while Marcel was whipping and running the streets, doing what he wanted to do. Fast forward a little bit, like Auntie Nita said, because I was going to say this. Tisha's dining room was a hot mess. Tisha's countertops in that dining room, when the camera panned around and I saw all of those cups and bottles, it was like a clearance sale at Walmart. And I shudder to think what the kitchen and bathrooms look like. Young kids are not. Clean up. You got cameras and company. Like, come on. I just thought that was unacceptable.
They was giving us reality TV.
That was unacceptable. Now, number two, the daughters chin check the hell out of their father, and they let it be known. They let it be known what I already told y'all earlier. Marcel is busy, but he ain't really doing nothing. And the baby girl called it out. Marcel said Tisha can't cook because she's working, and the girl asked him, like you said, Auntie Robin, what do you do? And I didn't hear him answer. He didn't have an answer for that. And when the son stepped in and let him know, even though the son was smiling, there's still truth in just when a child tells you something and they try to ease their way into it so that they don't come across as disrespectful. there was truth in that. No way my spouse would speak to me if we have been together for 17 years like that. Translation, that boy thinks what we all think is that Tisha should have been divorced, Marcel. That's what I got from that. And why wouldn't he think that? He knows more than what we do. They should have been divorced. So when people say we stay together for the kids want you to leave. That's what I got from that. And boys love their moms. And Marceau is going to end up on the wrong side of his son's affection when he gets a little older. And he rewatches these episodes and sees how Marceau has been playing in his mama's face all this time. Marceau's miscalculation is that he thinks he is funny, but nobody is laughing. When you put a clown in a ring and give it a red nose, it is not amusing. It is a circus. And those kids, as well as the audience, we are not amused. Tisha chooses to tolerate that foolishness, but the viewers and your kids do not. Next, if Tisha is 85% owner of Scope, then Marceau and that other temp who's working there, they work for Tisha. Tisha is the boss. Okay? And Marceau is the employee. Tisha needs to... Did I say something wrong? Okay. Tisha needs to write that ass
about
up.
the temp that works there. You done called him in.
I know, that's what I said. I was on mute. I cannot. You go ahead.
Listen, I can only say it the way I say it. Tisha needs to write that ass up. Just like in corporate America. Give him a written warning for insubordination, marriage or not. See, Marceau think the cow manure is sweet. But if I was Tisha, I would have so many written and final warnings on Marceau's employee file. He would be on Indeed trying to apply to work at Wanda's food truck. See, I don't play. I just have to let y'all know. Last scene. Mel is so miserable. The way she acted on that call with Tisha in that restaurant when Tisha and Kimmy were together was positively pathetic. Tisha extended an invitation to Mel to come to the cast event. So the invitation was mandatory. We all know this. But as soon as Tisha passed the phone back to Kimmy, Mel said, so anyway, can you get massages? I thought that was so rude. And then when they got to the event, Mel was so fake and phony again. She knew that Tiffany was telling the truth about Keke, but Mel refusing to open her mouth and say one word opposing Keke's bad behavior. Why is that? Those two are in cahoots.
Speak the facts.
And if I didn't know any better, I just was watching this show and this was my first episode, I would think Kiki and Mel are first cousins and Kiki and Tisha are cousins by marriage. That's the way that it looked. Even Stormy had to call it out. And in this scene, I gained so much respect for Tiffany and Stormy. They clocked in for work that day. They came to work. And Mel was riding the clock and stealing time because she didn't do anything. She was absolutely useless in this scene and this entire episode. Mel needs to be fired. While she's talking about Wanda can't be here because Wanda threatened me. Listen, if that's the case, they need to fire Stormy then. Wasn't Stormy getting into it with Destiny last season? Like, I don't agree with this whole, I don't feel safe. Mel feels safe. You felt safe enough to go walking up to the person who threatened you and threatened to pull out a chopper. If you were that scared, why you walk over there? Like, that makes no sense to me. I just don't like this throwing rocks and hiding our hands and then, I'm a producer and, this is my show. Well, then why don't you film all the scenes and bring all your family on here? Let us see how effed up y'all are. How about that? I can't stand her. I'm just making, the saving grace though, last thing. Kimmy and Kiki. So if everybody took it that way, when Kimmy said this, so if everybody took it that way, all of us are wrong and you are right, and Kiki said yes, that told me all I needed to know. That told me all I needed to know right there, because Kiki hit the home run. Somebody said earlier that Kiki was a professor at somebody's college. Did I see that in the chat? Did we see that earlier?
You did.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Lord. How many people work for ICDC College at this point? Because they have a bad, listen, they have a bad reputation. I just have to be honest. Can we be honest? I just cannot believe that people are this slow on purpose. And for somebody to pay Kiki to teach somebody else something at an accredited institution of learning for transfer college hours, absolutely no way. No, not even high school, not even middle school. If there was a teacher shortage, I would put, if I had to, I would put Kiki in the classes for GED, but absolutely nothing more than that. It just makes absolutely no sense. But kudos to Tisha, Tiffany, Kimmy, and Stormy. And it's just no way that Mel can be anybody's storyline when she can't even be her own storyline. It's given stale, and it's been giving stale since the last season. The way the cast has the power to hire and fire the talent on this show is so unbelievable, and it will be the downfall of this franchise. I'm telling you now.
You didn't took a breath now? Hey, Robin. Hey, hey, Royale. Hey, Great Diva. I am at work. And hey, Aunt, wait a minute, Aunt Nettie. Hey.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm at work.
Hey, babe.
I know you hyped. But let me get this in real quick because I'm at work and I had to bounce out of a patient room to come up in here.
Uh-oh.
Lord have mercy.
Okay.
My thing is this. I'm gonna be like President Obama. Let me make myself clear.
Oh.
First of all, Tisha, she is educated. However, nevertheless, her communication level is not up to par with her degrees. That part. That's one. Two, she is blind by her marriage because this girl put her name on the line on everything. And when the ship go down, it's going to be like Titanic. She's going to be going down with the ship. So therefore, she don't know what to do. She's scared and she's nervous. And I get that. But be honest and upfront because the camera going to show your real truth. And it's showing her to be a ding-dong battle-act. However, nevertheless, let's get on Kiki. Kiki is very smart. She's educated. However, nevertheless, Kiki was going through something. So therefore, her trials and tribulations shouldn't be actually accounted to what she's eligible to do. I believe she's very smart. However, nevertheless, she wanted to get on the show. So therefore, she's on the show. So she's trying to bring the drama for a paycheck. Get it, got it. But let's not ever discredit nobody's certificates or what they do for a living, because a person can, I'm up on here and you probably won't even think I am an oncologist, okay? And my second part is a general physician in the emergency room. That part, don't ever get it twisted, okay? Because I'm coming to you all as a human being because I'm educated and I'm ghetto at the same time. So we can get it on, like Marvin Gaye said, we can get it on up in here. That's three. Four, Stormy. The camera is showing what she is. She's a snake in the grass. You see what I'm saying? A snake in the grass, just like Destiny was a snake in the grass. Don't none of them have anything. I don't even really think, I know Stormy probably is a millionaire on paper, but she ain't got it the way she's saying it because she's taking care of all her family, her husband family. Because what he brings to the table, nothing. But like he told her, go get them pork chops. You see what I'm saying? So that part. So Mel, again, I don't think that she throw no stones or hide her hand. I think she was tired of people playing with her emotions. And this time it's just like, okay, peace be still. So what you talking about? I'm a millimeter, honey. So what you talking about ain't hitting on nothing over there. Because Melody gonna get those checks. Regardless, she got 4 kids to feed. And at the end of the day, she looking at college. And college ain't cheap. Ain't that right, Diva? I should know. USC got $418,000 of my money. And I want it back. But I can't. My son ended up getting his degree. However, nevertheless, how's everybody doing today, baby?
Hey,
Love,
LB.
peace, and soul. that skirt you had on, Diva, was fire. Come on now. Wakanda forever in this piece.
Wakanda forever. I had a ball too. It was gambling for charity, so you had to spend money for the chips, but you didn't get money. You just got tickets at the end to go in basket, but it was for charity. I had a ball. Y'all just threw me off the train tonight. I got stuff to think about. I got stuff to think about because y'all done twisted me all around. I thought
Come on, Miss Nettie, because I know Miss Nettie finna follow up.
Diva, can I respond to E right quick?
Okay, go ahead and respond to E. Go ahead.
First of all, E.
Uh-oh.
Let me tell you, Kiki is very educated. She the one, her and her grandfather got big tongue in the college. Okay,
What's
number
big time?
one. Big tongue is Letitia Scott. Number one.
Number one.
Second of all, Mel does not have to say anything to anybody. As far as Stormy sit on that reunion stage, and Carlos asked her how was her and Destiny. She said, "Oh, we good." He said, "What about you and Mel?" She said, "We building." Mel jumped back because she didn't know they was just building. So I'd have fed her dust too. Tiffany has been messy since she stepped foot on that show when she brought up a monster vaping in the bathroom. She always putting her nose in somebody's business. And if you question the paternity of my baby and you don't really know who your babies belong to, I'm gonna step to you too. I don't care if you blind, crippled, or crazy. Do you get that? Not only did you talk about my baby's hair, you went around took the picture to certain bloggers, but they refused to show it. Talking about, I got a picture of Sugar Mama Daddy. Put it right beside it, and that'll be it. Marcel even said Sugar Mama was his. He was talking about the last baby that she wrote versus Wade. But see, you don't talk about mine. I don't care if I catch you in church, we gonna have a conversation. And you can never down. She was a professor at the college in Alabama. It wasn't ICDC. Check your records, ma'am.
The
Thank
college?
you very much.
What's the name of the college?
It's the HBCU college.
Yeah,
I
she was
forget
at
the name.
Alabama A&M.
Oh, I'm going to look it up. Continue.
Wait, go look it up. Why you talking about is ICDC? I
Well,
mean, I know you don't like Mel. You never have like Mel.
That's
It
right.
don't matter. You don't have to like her.
I don't.
But what you
But
do,
the other
you
issue
gonna
for me
respect her
is
grind.
Okay,
Talking about
hold
she
on.
need to leave
Hold
the
on, guys.
house.
Well,
Wait,
no,
hold
let
on,
me,
guys.
no,
Hold on.
Diva, let me reply.
Time out. Because in my opinion, did not get to speak. Okay, so in my
I'm
opinion,
sorry, baby.
yeah. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so first of all, respectfully, okay,
Yes.
Mel is passive aggressive.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay,
I agree.
She is.
and here's the thing, okay, yes, she is. I think the thing about it that makes Mel untolerable at times is that when she's in the wrong, she doesn't admit her faults.
Correct.
None
Okay.
of them do.
Well, yeah,
But
but
we're
she's
talking about now.
but she's the biggest. She's the biggest component of one of those people that passive aggressive. Like even when people telling her like something you did hurt me or something, she be like, "Oh, did I do that? I didn't know that." Like that's. I'm telling you, that kind of shit would trigger somebody because,
Come on.
bitch, I will drag you by your tail. Okay, like I don't like people playing my face. Okay, we all grown on this TV show. Okay. I respect the woman for filing divorce with that bastard, okay? I would have put his ass in the dirt, though. Okay, I wouldn't have been dealing with him. But this is my thing. You're gonna be a genuine woman and say, hey, I left that situation alone. Don't play with that nigga, cause she shouldn't have told him I'm gonna pray for him. Cause baby, what you praying for? You ain't praying for him. You praying for him to leave you the fuck alone. I would have told that bastard to his face. I ain't praying for you. You pray for yourself. If God don't hear them prayers, I ain't meant to hear him. And then let me tell
That
you
was the
something.
only way he would let her leave, in my opinion.
But hold on. Okay, because you had some of your facts wrong, okay? Let me tell you. First of all, Stormy was down on her luck. She had her last $800, started Canvas Beauty in 2012, okay? That woman bought 100 bottles to make her formula in her kitchen. She put them up on Facebook, sold them out in less than 12 hours. She
I
reinvested
never
that
denied her
money.
product. I buy her product. I
No,
never doubted her
I'm
product.
saying you saying about them reviews. Let me tell you what these people do. Okay, these so-called people that act like they know these people in real life. These so-called people, like y'all investing in these people's lives, like y'all know them. Like it's beyond me how these people with these Huntsville. It ain't now another reality show like these Huntsville fans. I'm telling you, they ready to go for blows over some people y'all ain't even never met before. Like. Give me a break. We all fuck up. Excuse me, Diva. I'm sorry. We've all made mistakes. Oh, Jesus. But let me tell you something. Don't get mad at me for my opinion because you ain't want my opinion. Get the fuck off my screen.
Oh,
Okay,
okay, all right. Oh my God.
Can I
Okay,
speak, Diva? Let me in, Diva. Tag me
Okay,
in.
and then I'm sorry. One more thing, Diva. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Kiki, let me tell you something. If my cousin came in my house and stole from me, best believe I'm telling everybody else, lock your stuff up. She thinks because you would not come to nobody's house and be a representative of mine, stealing from them. Okay, if you needed something that bad, you could have asked the girl. Okay, to sit
What
there in
if
her
I
front
steal
yard and
too?
say, "I don't give a f about your baby." Okay. To come in my house and steal my painkillers that I need for my C-section because I get so open. Like, baby, make that make sense. I don't care where she came from. I'm from Alabama, okay? I got a child that's at Alabama State University right now, okay? He's in his second year. Thank God, have mercy. I hope he hurry up and get on out there. Let me tell you something. Don't mean just because you got to college and you graduated, you was very smart, okay? Because in Alabama, you can go to school and not learn nothing,
Okay, come
okay?
through.
And get up out of that
Well,
thing, okay?
Marcel is a good
But
example of that.
he is because he graduated from Alabama A&M. So all these people throwing up Alabama A&M, all of them graduated from A&M, and don't none of them act like they educated.
Okay, come through.
Well, see, let me say
Okay.
this.
Okay, hold on,
And
guys.
Maxine is
Hold
talking
on.
about.
Diva, let me respond to what they said
Okay,
today.
but hold on.
Somebody in between.
Thank you for the super chat. Lord have mercy. I'm enjoying this live chat. Well, I done fell off. I was trying to behind the scenes shove my little soup in my mouth. Y'all got me shaking over here. The train is off the track.
I'm sorry, Diva.
It's okay. It's okay. You got passionate. It's okay. The train off the track.
I can take the profanity coming toward me. I was not respecting your opinion.
No, the profanity wasn't towards you. It was just slipping. It was just slipping out because I was like,
okay, baby. We
for a
Gucci.
minute.
Okay, hold on. Time out. The Diva's talking. The train. Pull the emergency brake. Roy, call security. Call security.
We Gucci.
We losing it here. Hold on, everybody. Let me tell you this. This I do know. This I know. Yes, I gotta call the transit police. Come on now. Listen. This I do know. None of us ever mean anything against a person who said something out of their mouth. We get passionate. Train wreck. You ain't lying. Train wreck. We get passionate about what we're saying, and it is more towards the conversation and not the person who said it. So I'm the conductor of this train, and on my behalf, I tell everybody, don't take it personal. All apologies from everyone. It's about what you're saying, and we get passionate when we like our people that we like, right? So if you start to talk about our people that we like, we sit up straight. We stood up straight, and then we get the shaking, and we got to give you some facts and let you know what it is. Let me just say this to y'all. Y'all got me a little twisted here because I thought it was some heartfelt moments in this episode, and y'all snatched my dreams away from me. Okay, telling me no, it's all a fraud and a fake. Okay, that's Gemini. It's all love.
It's all good, Diva.
Y'all done got my train to shaking. We had turbulence. We almost crashed into another train. But I almost crashed into another train. All I'm going to say is this. I will say this. They all got issues. In my opinion, I will say this. I do, and that's what I love about Stormy. She's a prime example of how you can have nothing and raise your thing all the way to the top. That girl started out with nothing. She started out with no a reality show backing her. She
Yeah,
had
and
no
she wasn't trying to get on bail collector. That was another thing that you said wrong. A friend
Yeah, I got that
tried
from
to get her
Parlay.
on bail collector.
Okay, but
She
hold on.
was already
Hold on,
staying in
guys.
Huntsville.
But hold on. Let's let that go because I'm gonna wrap this thing up. My time is almost up, and tomorrow night the
Well,
Dunkins
no.
from Love and Marriage DC is coming by, so I got to be freshly slept and get myself together. But I want to say this: what I love about Stormy is she built that thing up from nothing all the way to what she has now. What I love about Mel, what she represented on this TV, which I think should be more of a focus, is how you can be in love with a man that is your husband and he do you dirty. And even though you have young kids, you can leave him, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and still survive. Melody is a survivor. I
Right.
do
She's a
not like
thriver.
everything that Melody does at all. I do think she throws rocks and hide her hand. I do think she shifts her weight around. I do. But one thing I do love about her, I love the fact that she found the courage to leave that man and to still stand on her own 2 feet and to tell her truth, because she gets vulnerable every now and then, right? She told her truth when she said, I would never expect to be living and not seeing my kids every day. And there's some real people out there who go through that same situation. I think overall, what I don't like is I don't like the way that they kick people off the show that they no longer want to deal with, because that is not reality. Okay. And let me close out with this because the train went off the track and it was shaking. I'm going to bring it back for a little minute and we'll talk about this on Wednesday when we do trending topics. I want to say this: that Don Lemon getting fired and them not even having the respect to call him and tell him you are fired. I don't care how you feel about that man. That whole situation after 17 years, out of
That was
pocket,
messed
out
up.
of line, disrespectful. That's why Natty messed up. And if we allow people to do that to him, then the jobs think they're going to wake up and do it to us. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. That's like Chi-Town. It was rude, so nasty, so rude in the name of Nene Leakes. Okay, so nasty, so rude. You can't just fire me and tell my management company or my talent company that don't come to work today. After 17 years, have y'all lost your everlasting mind? Now I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna go around and everybody's gonna close out 60 seconds because I got to go. Wait, hold on. Let me just see this. Nobody said Diva CNN came back and said that statement was not true. They did reach out to him. Okay, so y'all saying he lying? Okay.
No, they reached out to him to talk to management, not to do an on-air farewell.
They dogged them out 17 years.
No, they didn't.
Okay, I'm coming to you, Rob. But E, what's your final thoughts? We got 60 seconds because Diva got to go.
Listen, people can't come up and tell me that I can't judge people who have credentials. If you know that you're ghetto and you know that you're getting on TV, I need you to tighten it up. Because if you can't do this, you being on this show, this is your job. And if you would come to a show like this and show your black stuff like this, then it's easy for me to believe you would do that in front of the people you're supposed to be teaching and being an example for. I don't care if you were at Harvard. I still find it unbelievable that Kiki was standing in front of somebody's chalkboard or whiteboard or somebody's projector trying to tell them something about education. I find that hard to believe, and I'm not changing. And anybody coming up here next week talking about I'm a millimeter. Listen, I don't want to hear that. That's to me, a millimeter is somebody who wants to be a stepmommy in their own marriage. Don't come up to me talking about being no millimeter, because if you left this man and you're so happy and you got it going on, you got your happy back, then act like it. Every time Destiny comes around, Mel's face is toe up from the flow up. Every time Tisha comes around and Tisha gets on the phone, Mel's face is toe up from the flow up. Girl, you're so beautiful. Your hair is always done nice. You keep a nice man around. Your kids are healthy. But you're going to let these women get you out of your peace, and you guys think that's a survivor? That's not a survivor. That woman is miserable. She didn't want to divorce that man. She only divorced him because Knox came kicking in the picture, and she's going to ruin her own career on reality television because
I knew you was Ariana, Mom.
this show It's supposed to be reality television. And if you kick off all the people who are bringing the reality to your reality television more so than you, then you don't have a brand. And we're not going to act like Mel is innocent, because in the beginning seasons, Mel and Marcel both were keeping up lots of BS. So those two are peas in the pot. They're a reflection of each other. That's why they were in love and they were together so long. Just as ratchet as Martell is, so is Mel. So don't any millimeters, you can all get it, because Mel is trash and she needs to be fired. And you heard it from me. It's Monday. Trash go out tomorrow morning. Bye, Mel.
Oh, good God. I cannot. I lost control. Auntie Natty, please, 60 seconds. I got to go. 60 seconds. Your final thoughts.
First of all, when Mel called Tish for Kimmy's celebration, TikTok did her the exact same way she did Mel. So fair exchange ain't no robbery. Point blank, period. I never said I was a millimeter, but if I want to be one, I can.
Well, not you.
Second of
Somebody
all,
else did that.
It was LB, but keep going.
second of all, if they did me like they did Mel, I would pay them dust too. Tish laughed about her. And not only on the show, when they were going through their custody battle on Facebook, on social media, they sit up and made fun of that woman fighting for her kids. I would pay them dust too.
We all
Yes,
laugh.
she is passive aggressive. I let you talk, let me talk.
I love
I
you.
tell when Mary's wrong, I say she wrong. But now you ain't go all them gay. Martell went around and on a circuit to turn all of them against her. When Tish didn't even know how to go out, TikTok didn't know how to go out the house and network, and Baby Shark Teeth told her she had to stay there and cook dinner. Mel took her out and tried to help her network. Mel thought they were friends. Mel, when they first started filming, they was filming in Mel townhouse. Now they in a matchbox. If I done reach out my hand to help you in real life, and this happened before the show, when Baby Shark Teeth was selling popcorn at the movie theater, they helped them start a show because he got fired from selling popcorn. And then you turn on me. Oh, baby, I feed you dust too. If you say you not my friend, basically, but you friends with somebody else that you know I got a problem with, oh yeah, I'm gonna feed you dust too. I'm not passive aggressive, but I'm just gonna look at you and act like I don't see you, like your Casper, and I'm looking through you. And you can have your opinion, and I'll never try to change it. But baby, don't never tell me what I can't come up here and say. And I
No,
love
I'm
you.
talking about the people who came up here and told me what I can say. That I can't tell you
Okay,
that
okay,
Kiki
y'all.
is
Hold on.
educated.
I know. Hold on, guys, because we got 60 seconds for everybody. I love you. Tiff, thank you for the super chat. Diva, funny show. Love you. Love you back. But I lost control of the train. I don't have the will anymore. I've lost it. It's a wrap. In my opinion, 60 seconds, because I got to go 60. And you know, I
Well,
never
let
did
me
this in
tell
my
you
life.
something. Let me tell you something.
Wait, hold on 1 second. In my opinion, I never did this in my life, but 60 seconds, and I promise you, I got to cut you off. I got to go. Go ahead, in my opinion. Your 60 seconds starts now.
Let me tell you something. I hope this is a lesson to all young women, okay? Never stay in something too long that's going to take any of your pride, your dignity, anything, okay? Get out of it while you can, okay? Second part, okay? We got to be so judgmental and so hurt by something that we see on our TV screens. It's time to turn them off, okay?
Yes.
I hope y'all don't take none of this stuff to heart and be fighting with nobody in these streets. Like, we supposed to be grown women, okay? They already playing like kids. Let's leave them at the daycare. Let's start acting like grown people.
Amen. Amen. Robin, what are your thoughts? Just 60 seconds.
The most controversial thing you'll hear me saying, we can wrap it up on Wednesday. But when we talk about these people and their academic credentials, I'm of the mindset that there are two types of people. You can be college trained or college educated. I'll expound on it on Wednesday. With regard to Don Lemon, which we'll talk about Wednesday, yeah, they can. It's obvious that it was it was not an amiable separation, and they are employed at will. They can kick them to the curb. It's not nice and fun for us, but that was a business decision. And lastly, just like in my opinion says, and like I say almost every week, this is a reality-based television show. It unnerves me. It bothers me that we become so impassioned that we take on these things so personally, that we separate ourselves into teams. These people, A, we don't know them. B, half the time they're not friends. C, most of it isn't real. They're not real situations. D, let's let it go. Breathe, let it go. And tune in tomorrow for the Duncans. That's
We'll
it.
be here. Roya, your final thoughts. KP, thank you. KP, you connected with me. Thank you, KP. Go ahead.
I don't know what you're telling the truth about, so I can't agree with that just yet. But
that was heartfelt between Daddy Mark and
overall, this was it was a nice episode. It had its moments, but regarding the friendship situation and everything, I just don't feel like the male has any room to talk about friendship and things like that, because you said on a reunion last year and came out and said that nobody was your friend and you weren't fooling with nobody. So I don't understand why you expecting any kind of loyalty or niceness from anybody when you put out on Front Street that you was not friends with nobody and didn't mess with nobody. So those were her words when the reunion opened up, when she first came and sat out on the couch, and you can go back and watch the replay. I stand by it. Tonight was an awesome episode. Please remember to hit that like button, comment your thoughts and opinions down below. If you have not subscribed to the Gray Hair Divas channel, she also has a private membership she's getting ready to be blowing up on. So make sure you get in on the early ticket of that before the ticket price goes up. Tune in tomorrow for Sherelle, and her husband Black will be here at 8 p.m. Is that correct, Diva? 8 p.m.?
Yes, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
8 p.m. tomorrow. So Diva's going to put that up. Make sure you hit the notify me bell when she hits that live, so that when she goes live, it comes up automatically. Anything else, Auntie?
No, we're all good. It's time to go. I love y'all. The train has pulled into the last stop. Y'all had the train shaking. There was turbulence. We almost crashed into somebody else. But I love y'all. Thank you for being here. Hit that like button. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Good night. Bye.
Hashtag fire mail.
Love you, Diva. Opinion Royal. Auntie Robin. You all right too, E.
I love you more.
Hey, Roel, what you doing, yo?
That's what I'm talking about.